Madam, I'm also talking for the Honorable Finance Minister, Madam, because her maternal side is from my constituency, Madam. So I'm actually talking for her also. And what this budget has done is basically kill the golden goose. Tamil Nadu, with its impressive manufacturing strength, a large tax base, and a honest, hard-working people are being shortchanged in this budget, Madam. We are contributing, for every rupee we only get 29 paise, Madam. On maternal side of the Finance Minister it is also your constituency, Madam. Through you, I ask the Finance Minister to actually do fairness for the Dravidian state that educated you, that put you into this place, that actually forms a big portion of the decisions you make. So please be fair to the state of Tamil Nadu. I'd like to start with something that's very fundamental to the constitution of this country, Madam. It says India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. But today, after 10 years, in fact in the 11th year, we are in the question of saying, what is the state of the union? We still don't know what is the state of the union. Number of people from my constituency, in fact, in the honor of Anita, a student who should have been here with me, or a doctor in Tamil Nadu is missing because of the bad policies of this government. So the Honorable Finance Minister talks about cess. What cess does is, it goes only to the central government, only to the union government. And the union government decides which states get what. And hence, the amount of cess increase in the last 10 years, Madam, is actually increased by 10 times, Madam. 10 times. It's not 1%, 2%, 10 times. And what are these 10 times mean about? You're actually taking away states' resources.
माननीय सदस्य श्री अरुण नेहरू जी,
When I was not provided the mic. When I was on my legs, I was not provided the mic.
please continue. Please सदस्य, please माननीय सदस्य, please. அருண் நேரு ஜி, மாநில சதஸ்ய.
மதிப்புக்குரிய பேரவைத் தலைவர் அவர்களே, இந்த மாமன்றத்தில் இந்த சாமானியன் குரலை ஒலிக்க செய்த மாண்புமிகு தமிழக முதல்வர் முத்துவேல் கருணாநிதி ஸ்டாலின் அவர்களுக்கும், மாண்புமிகு உதயநிதி ஸ்டாலின் அவர்களுக்கும் மற்றும் பெரம்பலூர் நாடாளுமன்ற தொகுதியின் மக்களுக்கு என் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அதிகாரத்தில் இருப்பவர்கள் கூட்டாக செயல்பட வேண்டும் என்று கூறிய இந்த தேச மக்களுக்கு என் முதல் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். Madam, I'd like to start with something that's very fundamental to the constitution of this country, Madam. It says India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. But today, after 10 years, in fact in the 11th year, we are in the question of saying, what is the state of the union? We still don't know what is the state of the union. So India, that is Bharat, is actually a union of states. The states make up this country. And what the finance minister has done is ask us the question, what is the state of this union? Now, as my colleague has pointed out, we are missing on the collective wisdom of this house when senior members of the treasury benches are actually missing in action. When the opposition wants to bring attention of the various schemes and of the trouble and the problems of the people, we still, through you, Madam, insist that the senior members be present when important bills like the finance bill is being discussed. So, what is this budget about, Madam? It's actually primarily about misplaced priorities. The state, with its resources, is not being provided enough support so that they can carry on the people's work. I will go point by point, Madam. So, a lot has been talked about job creation, and the finance minister, honorable finance minister, has been forthcoming with providing training for youngsters. And now what she has failed to address is that the majority of the youth is not in the formal sector. The total EPFO paying customers is only 3.05, whereas the total workforce is above 45 crore people. So what is being spoken about in the budget is less than 5% of the actual workforce. And the amount of companies, the formal companies actually paying EPF is actually much lesser than that. So the actual impact of Madam Finance Minister's statement about providing training actually doesn't cause any impact at all for the youth who's actually looking forward to training. So I guess the government should take note of the informal economy and the need for training there. Very important three segments that constitute to everyday life of the populace. fertilizer, food, and education. So, based on last year's numbers, the total allocation on fertilizer has been reduced by 13.5%, and food minus 3.1%, and education minus 2.2%. So, government has many reasons to reduce, madam, but what I fail to understand is this. These three are the basic for any life to be lived upon in this country, on this planet. Now, when you reduce the allocation of the basic input that goes into life, how does the government expect the country to grow, madam? How does the country expect the country to have food on the plate of a common man and then work to pay taxes, which again is the next big topic, madam? But how can they pay with all the basic things reduced? I think the government should take proper care of actually allocating resources. Now, the very important segment, education. Now, the finance minister is going on about, and the education minister and the HRD minister have been going on about the resource allocation, and then the NEET issue, and saying that the central government is actually taking care of the people. What I fail to understand is two important things. What the opposition is talking about is outcome, and what the treasury benches and the government is talking about is output. Now, let me go with an example, madam. So the central government says that they have brought about transparency and they've brought about equality in education, right? They might have talked only about the process. Yes, they have bought in the exam. Yes, they have gotten, QR codes to let students in. And yes, there are a lot of harassment issues before the student actually makes it to the exam. There's so many issues. That's the output. What we are talking about is the outcome. What does the outcome talk about? The outcome talks about a fair chance a common man in this country can get to make it to the medical exam and to serve the people of this country. They're not talking about outcome at all. They're only talking about output. The process is great. We're not talking about the process, but the process is unfair. So the point from the opposition benches is, don't try to justify an unfair system saying that it follows procedure. The procedure can be wrong, madam. Please listen to the opposition. Number of people from my constituency, in fact, in the honor of Anita, a student who should have been here with me, or a doctor in Tamil Nadu is missing because of the bad policies of this government. So please take note and please get the outcome right. Don't forget about the output. I'll also tell you an analogy, madam. So, number of members here have asked about highways, national highways, which is really good for the country, right? So, here we go, building national highways all across the country. Now, we have very good highways across the place. Now, you have opened a new highway, right? That's the output. What's the outcome? Now, if you have 50 accidents or 50 deaths in a year, that is the outcome. So, what we are talking about it, please avoid the deaths. There's no use building a 4-lane highway so that people die faster. So, what you're trying to do in NEET is actually push the inequality in the name of the process. So, please open your eyes. There are people who are really suffering, and there's a lot of inequality in the system. Before it gets out of hand, please open your eyes and get a fair chance to each one of the individuals who are really needy. Now, there are a lot of talk about the middle class, right? A very important point for the treasury benches and the ruling party to note is this, that 3% of the vote of the middle class shifted from the BJP to the India Alliance. And you would know that the finance minister actually again misplaced a priority in actually addressing the middle class. What have you done to the middle class? The middle class earns its wants, the salaried people, hardworking people, put their resources in two very important things, madam, or three, right? You have gold, you have real estate, and you have stocks, right? And the government has been pushing, saying that we're going to increase the width and the depth of the market. And what they have done is basically taken away all possible deductions that every common man before paying taxes calculates very vigorously, right? What have you done? So section 80D, which provides for deductions across for the salaried classes, actually remain flat. And as my colleague pointed out, based on inflation, it's actually minus now. By remaining flat, your deduction is actually reduced, but you're actually paying more taxes. So the middle class is actually being punished for being honest. So I think the misplaced priority on taxation must actually be addressed by the treasury benches. Now, one of the things that I'm really puzzled about is when the Honorable Finance Minister talks about cess. And not all of the members would know, but I would want everyone to be educated on cess. So taxes, indirect taxes and direct taxes, there's separation of powers. the resource allocation to state is being made by, eminent institutions like the Niti Aayog. What cess does is it goes only to the central government, only to the union government. And the union government decides which states get what. And hence, the amount of cess increase in the last 10 years, madam, is actually increased by 10 times, madam. 10 times. It's not 1%, 2%, 10 times. And what are these 10 times mean about? You're actually taking away states' resources. And do you think it's fair for the states to come ask that cess amount? I don't think it should even be asked, first of all. So the government should take note that you're providing a direct taxation, indirect taxation, and something else totally different, madam. Madam, I'm also talking for the Honorable Finance Minister, madam, because her maternal side is from my constituency, madam. So I'm actually talking for her also. So I need the 2 extra minutes to get to her. I hope she was here. Now, important things about the state, what they have done to the state. And what this budget has done is basically kill the golden goose. Tamil Nadu, with its impressive manufacturing strength, a large tax base, and a honest, hard-working people are being shortchanged in this budget, madam. We are contributing, for every rupee we only get 29 paise, madam. And we're very proud. We're very proud of the 1 rupee that we contribute. But what we ask is, give us a fair share so that we can actually contribute more. We're not complaining about not receiving less, but we are saying you're not giving us a fair share. And very importantly, relief and rehabilitation. You have seen in the last year that there were so many states that are being affected by natural calamities. And Cyclone Michang, which affected Chennai, and the heavy rainfall which affected Thoothukudi and the other district, were 100-year rainfall, madam. And what we had asked, the same officers who have been passed by the UPSC, the IAS officers, have recommended 37,000 crores, madam. And what we got is 450. It's not even 1 day's interest, madam. Not even in anybody's standards. So I think it's being very, very unfair on the central government. The most important thing, Metro Rail project, which was actually inaugurated by Union Home Minister Amit Shah ji on 2011-2020 in Chennai. The state government has allocated its own resources, madam. 16,000 crores. The budget that was passed by this house was supposed to be given to Tamil Nadu, is still not given. What, again, we are asking is our fair share. We are not complaining about not receiving money. So the general, the takeaway from this budget is, don't punish the states that are contributing. And second, you're actually giving loan to the states that were actually your allies. And last but not least, last point, madam. The last point is, the government has come up with a new East policy. The new East is Odisha, you have Bihar and Andhra. I don't know what kind of East that is. But as long as any of the East covers Tamil Nadu also, I will also join the bandwagon, madam. All we are asking for the central government and on maternal side of the finance minister is, it is also your constituency, madam. Through you, I ask the finance minister to actually do fairness for the Dravidian state that educated you, that put you into this place, that actually forms a big portion of the decisions you make. So please be fair to the state of Tamil Nadu. Thank you for the opportunity, madam.
Dhanyavad.